This is The Issue, and I am the Ghetto Man. Today's issue, the eighth plank of the Communist Manifesto, equal liability for all to labor and the establishment of industrial armies, especially for agriculture. Don't go away. We'll be right back. The eighth plank of the Communist Manifesto, the equal liability for all to labor and the establishment of industrial armies. Well, what does that mean anyway? It means that the federal government creates a system that identifies and controls the nation's workers. That's all it means. An army of workers. And in order to work, every working person must be part of this governmental system, or you don't get to work at all. It's that simple. Every working person, no matter what their vocation is, has to be a member of the system, has to be a member of this government corporate industrial army. Now, this system has been well established in the United States, believe me. No one in the United States can get a job unless they are part of this system, unless they are part of the government's corporate industrial army. Now, in the United States, the establishment of this government corporate industrial army was accomplished on August 14th, 1935, with the establishment of the Social Security system. Everyone in America has a Social Security number, don't they? That number, the Social Security number, is prima facie evidence that you are a member of the government's corporate industrial army. It's a worker's ID, for crying out loud, a number that you must have in order to work. You cannot get a job without it. Try it sometime and see what happens. Now, as a member of the government's industrial army, your Social Security number entitles you to, quote, equal liability to labor, just like the eighth plank calls for. And this is done through the establishment of governmental equal opportunity laws. Now, pursuant to government mandate, all businesses, and I mean every single one of them, have to hire their employees based upon government standards and must, under penalty of law, hire people from certain ethnic groups and hire these people even if they're not qualified for the position. Equal liability to labor, right? You see, everything that you do is tied to the Social Security system, which is nothing more than a welfare system anyway. As the Supreme Court has ruled, Social Security is nothing more than a payroll tax going in and a welfare check going out. Please review my video, Social Security or Socialist Insecurity, Earned Benefit or Welfare Payment. I'll post a link to it in the comment section below. Now, the Social Security system is the hub of the eighth plank of the communist web. It ties every person into every unconstitutional communist juristic system created by state and federal government, all controlled and regulated by government bureaucracies that clearly operate outside of the mandates of the United States Constitution. The Social Security number is used to identify the person and all of that person's personal and financial transactions, which include, not limited to, taxes, bank accounts, medical and dental records, credit and debit card purchases, cell phone records, military service records, insurance records of all kinds, medical, that sort of thing, and any welfare payments that you might be receiving. Everything Every single thing that a person does is monitored, regulated, and recorded by government. Everything. Today, every working man, woman, and child is a member of the government's corporate industrial army of workers whose lives are regulated and controlled by government every day from cradle to grave. And all of this, all of it, is tied directly to the second plank of the Communist Manifesto, a heavy and progressive income tax. You know, Title 26 of the United States Codes. And the fifth plank of the Communist Manifesto, a central bank. Our central bank being the Federal Reserve banking system, which in turn ties everything else a person does to the other 8 planks of communism. It's interesting to note the Communist Manifesto was published in 1848. Now, 18 years later, we see the establishment of the National Labor Union in 1866, the American Federation of Labor, that was established in 1886, Interstate Commerce Act, 1887, the Department of Labor, 1913, Railway Labor Act, 1926, Civil Works Administration, 1933, National Labor Relations, 1935, Fair Labor Standards Act, 1938, Civil Rights Act of 1964, which brings us to the equal liability to labor. Now, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission Act of 1972, the EEOC, enforces all federal law prohibiting workplace discrimination. Now, the EEOC was created by the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as amended to police a program to eliminate discrimination in employment based upon race, color, age, sex, national origin, religion, or mental or physical disability. In other words, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission makes sure that the government's corporate industrial army, every person out there that's earning a paycheck, is properly educated, regulated, disciplined, and controlled, making sure that no one steps out of line. Now, we can't have troops that are not working towards a common communist plan, now can we, comrade? After all, from each according to his ability to each according to his need is the communist motto, right? So there you have it. Today, as I speak, every working man, woman, and child in the United States of America, by way of the Social Security account, is a member of the government's corporate industrial army and practices the 8th plank of the Communist Manifesto exactly the way Karl Marx called for. I am the Ghetto Man. Thank you for watching. If you're politically correct, then you're legally wrong. And if you're not part of the solution, then you are the problem. And remember, in a free society, playing it safe is the most dangerous thing that you can do. Please subscribe to my channel and please share.